The vinyl argument according to me. In the debut episode of Unscripted, I thought I'd talk about something that was near and dear to my heart, and that is vinyl records. I absolutely love them, and I am part of the millennial generation. So I was brought up to be told that I shouldn't like cassettes, I shouldn't like 8 tracks, I shouldn't like vinyl, I shouldn't even like CDs. I should love MP3s and WAV files. Something where I can get an MP3 player and put thousands upon thousands of songs on there. And that's just not how I look at things. I'll take this in parts. First off is the getting nothing for something. And that is spending 99 cents on a song inherently isn't a problem. My biggest issue with that is I don't have anything to hold. This is what I have. This is my cell phone. I put music on here and I listen to the music on here, which is fine. But I don't have anything to hold. There's no liner notes to take a look at. No artwork to read. This is, for an example, here is Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, right? I got this CD probably in like 2004, 2003, 2004, something like that. And I fell in love with the CD. And I was the guy walking around school with the headphones on and the CD Walkman in my back pocket. And I used to go through and look at all of this, all the liner notes and the thank yous and who produced what and who played what on what track and stuff like that, because a lot of time went into this stuff. These artists weren't just creating music, they were also creating art with their artwork, and the guys who took the photos of the band in the back. I mean, that's all artwork to me. And spending 99 cents on a song, but I'm not really getting the artwork or getting any of that other stuff that's put into this, it didn't feel right to me. Maybe it's just because it's the artist in me. I look at songs more as art than just something that you can buy for 99 cents and put on your computer. But this is the first iteration that I had. I never had an iPod. I didn't get an iPod until like 7-8 years after they first came out. It was like an iPod Mini, like 3rd generation that someone had given to me. So this is what I grew up with. Now, I grew up in a family that loved music, and my father had a lot of vinyl, and he had, Deep Purple, Aerosmith, tons of bands like that, Zeppelin, The Who, and that's, I grew up seeing those, and we didn't even have a record player, but, we had stereos, so we had the FM radio stations, and then we also had a CD player hooked up to it. So that's what I grew up with. I grew up with CDs. And I liked having something tangible to hold on to. So then when we got to MP3s, I was like, I'm spending, we'll say, $10 on an album. So this cost $10 at the local CD store I would go to. But having these 10 tracks also were only $10. But I didn't have anything to hold. I didn't have anything that felt like mine. It was my computer's, or it was my MP3 player's music. It didn't feel like it was mine. I couldn't just take it and go somewhere. Like, the actual CD is in my car still. I still have a CD player in my car, and I love listening to them. So, and then I started getting to vinyl like 10 years ago. And, I had to get out of it for whatever reason. And I got back into it like 2 years ago. And one of the first albums I got was Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory on vinyl, and like this is artwork. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's insane. The time that goes into it, and then you go through here, and then you still have all the lyrics and everything like that. So, and then I also had a download code for it. So if I still want to put it on my phone, right? I still want to put it on my phone. That's not a problem, because I have the download code. But I want something that feels like mine. that, I worked hard, I got a paycheck, and now I want to go out and I want to spend it on art. Not just on music, not just on a painting. This is everything. I mean, that's cool. The music in here is cool, and the actual photography is cool. I don't know about the hair, but whatever. So just actually getting something that's yours, that you can hold and have. Now, there's this whole spiel in the movie or documentary Sound City that Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters and Nirvana fame made, with Neil Young going, they messed up going from analog to digital, and the original zeros and ones to make the sound from analog to digital. There's a difference. So they screwed it up. There is a difference. And so if you listen to the MP3, you listen to the CD, and you listen to the vinyl, you're going to hear differences. And I swear to God it's true. I'm not just making that up. I always thought it. If I put an MP3 that I stole from the internet or whatever, right? I throw it on my phone, and I put that into the auxiliary section of my car. That's track sounds different than taking the actual CD and sticking it in the car. And then all that sounds different than the vinyl that I'm playing on. It's not really a good system. I mean, it's a record player that has built-in speakers, and then I have these old studio monitors I was using in my studio. When I upgraded those, I just brought those and used those in my for my record player. So, I mean, they're not amazing speakers, but I can hear a difference. I can hear more bass. I can hear sometimes, like for music like Fleetwood Mac, I can, like, when I hear The Chain off the Rumors album, I swear I can hear so much more instrumentation there. I can hear more layers. Even on tracks like from punk bands like Rancid, The Distillers, Blink-182, Green Day, I can hear subtle differences and stuff like that. Now, I completely understand that, when you do CDs or you do the digital platform, there's no guesswork. Like when you have a turntable, there's you can decide the speed. So sometimes it may be a little too fast, so you have to decide where that speed is, and and that's going to change how it sounds. Sometimes like I had a friend who listened to my vinyl of American Idiot, and he goes, that sounds way too fast. It almost sounds like a chipmunk. And I'm like, okay, well then I got to slow it down. He's like, why don't you just pop the CD in and call it a day? Because I don't want to. Because I like the vinyl. And then I'll leave you with this last little bit, which is where you go for your music. I mean, I grew up going to mom and pop like CD stores. Like some people that watch this will remember Dick's Discs in East Northport, New York, where I grew up, and that's where I went for so many albums, so much music that I never heard of. Ugly Kid Joe, Incubus, Metallica. I mean, I got my first ever Metallica CD was Master of Puppets, and I got that there. When Saint Anger came out, he held on to Saint Anger for me. Megadeth. I mean, these are all bands I never heard of until I went there. And then, bigger stores like FYE, before then it was called The Wall. I got my first ever CD there, which was a single of Blink-182's All the Small Things. Like, stuff like that. You get to go there, you get to have conversations with people. And I miss that with the digital platform. And even stuff like Amazon, like purchasing a CD off Amazon is, you don't talk to anybody. You don't get to hear anyone's opinions. Like I went to, in Buffalo, we have a place called Record Theater, and and then I have my favorite record store, which is Revolver Records. Record Theater is this huge place. I mean, it is huge. It's like 2 or 3 football fields of just music, vinyl, CDs, live concert footage, documentaries. Like, I could have sworn I saw cassettes and 8-tracks there. They got books. They have everything there. And every time I went to a place and I was looking at something, someone goes, hey, if you like that, maybe you'll like these guys. I mean, I've only been there a couple times, and the second time I went there, and I'm not a very personable person, but the second time I went there, someone's looking at some old Motorhead, and like, yeah, I got this, and I looked over to them and I go, and he was a kid, he couldn't have been like more than 16 or 17, his mom was with him, and I'm like, if you like that, then get Motorhead's Bad Magic album, which is the last studio album, because it was phenomenal, and they said thank you, and they ended up grabbing it and going, and like, stuff like that, you know, I love The Who, and I had someone go, if you love The Who, have you heard the Pete Townshend's demos for some of The Who stuff? And I'm like, no. And they're like, yeah, I just got this one, and this looks awesome. So seeing stuff like that and talking to people like that is becoming almost art form, in my opinion. And that place, and like I said, that place was huge. And my favorite place is Revolver Records, because that's where I found my guy. You know, I found my personal guy. His name's Phil. And he was originally just selling records out of his garage. And when I say out of his garage, I mean this is like a 2-car garage or so. And he had thousands of albums. And the first time I went there, I spent $500 and I picked up all of this vinyl. It had to have been like 50 to 100 records. And then he finally built himself up, and he got his own storefront. And it's this small store, but you walk in there, and if you've been there once or twice, he knows your name. I mean, I'm not going to say it's Cheers, but for all you young kids, that's a television show with Ted Danson. But yeah, he knows your name. He asks you how you're doing. If you need something, held for you, like, hey, I just saw that you got this in on your website. Do you mind holding that for me? Hey, if he knows you and you haven't screwed him in the past, he's got no problem holding on to that stuff for you. And that means a lot to me. And I'd rather spend an extra, $2, $3, $4, $5 than going through Amazon. Because I'm not just supporting my habit of getting new music. I'm also supporting a local business, a local guy, and I get to make some new friends. And I think that like I said, I think that's where I'm going to leave you. I think vinyl, it could have been something else, but vinyl, I think, in my opinion, is the coolest. I mean, if 8-track was the coolest, then they'd still be going on. Or if cassettes were the coolest, they'd still be going on. I mean, CDs are still being made. I'm in a local band and we still make CDs. Do we have download cards? Can you go to our website? Can you go to iTunes and get our music? Sure. I hope to one day have enough of a following in my band where we can make some vinyl, maybe singles, 7 inches, or do full albums and sell them on vinyl. But that's where I'm going to leave you with. I think the vinyl argument really comes down to, I want something in my hands. I want something that doesn't just show off the music, but shows off the art, the creation of it, everything that goes through it. And I want to meet new people that can turn me on to stuff, and I can turn them on to stuff. And that's where I'm going to leave you guys. So if you like this video and you want to hear more, you want to see more, you can always say so in the comments below. Please give this a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And check out my links. If you want to know what I'm playing, go to my Facebook link and like my Facebook link. I actually post on there often what I'm actually doing, what I'm playing at the moment when it comes to my vinyl collection. Anything new I got, like record store day stuff. But I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more videos, check out my videos and subscribe, please. Okay. Rock on.